Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
So tell me how sales are going.
Well, so it's early in the season. I've never knocked this early. Last year I started Memorial Day, the end of May.
Okay.
And so
And what city are you in right now?
well, we've been knocking over in Rockland County, Orangeburg, New York.
Okay.
And so it just seems like everyone's pretty much got someone lined up. They're not really seeing the bugs yet, but they know they're coming, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I've got 6 sales under my belt, and it's like my 7th day, or no, it's like my, I don't know, 8th or 9th day. So
Going a little slow.
yeah.
I understand that. I listened to your call that you sent over. You did some really good things there. I like where you said, I know it's not that much, but I'm gonna take it down to 62. Like, that was good. Because you let them know. I mean, you address the elephant in the room. Hey, I know this is not a big discount, but it's a discount, and it seemed really like, hey, this is what I can do for you. It was very sincere. I like that. That was a great way to set that up.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that. That's something new I've tried, because we normally have been pitching quarterly, and I normally give them a price drop on their quarterlies, but now we're switching to monthly, and it's really not that much. So
yeah, but
and
the way you say it, and here's the thing is the value is in the eye of the beholder, right?
right.
I bought a car this morning. I didn't even negotiate because the value was there. It was exactly what I wanted. I'm flying across the country to make this deal, right? So the value's in the eye of the beholder. This guy realized that it's not a big difference. It's not a lot of money, but it was a good deal
Mhm.
because it was better than what you would normally pay.
Right.
And believe me, if these guys had called me up and said, "Hey, Nate, we're going to take $200 off this car," $200 doesn't really matter, but would I take it? Sure.
Mhm.
So the value is there, and so you did a good job by letting them know, hey, it's not a lot, but here's what I can do for you. And the way you pitched that was solid. I love that technique, and I really think that's a good one. So that worked.
Yeah.
And the guy ended up buying, right? Even though it was the next day.
Right.
I don't think that he was a golden buyer. I don't think you have to worry about just bumping into it. That one was handled skillfully. That was done right. In the very beginning, though, how do you feel about the beginning of that call?
The beginning, honestly.
Well, I should say that call. I guess it was a knock for you. I just heard it on my phone. So.
Yeah. Well, his first thing, and my recently, at least in the last week when I first got here, I was trying to be super quick. And so my first thing when he came out is he actually asked how I was doing, and so I slowed down a little bit just to match him. But his first objection there was, yeah, can you email me some information?
Right.
And I'm like, I'm just here for the day. And so but he actually bit that, and I just showed him really quick, but
it was great that you did that, because what he was asking for is expediency, and you gave him expediency. It wasn't necessarily that he wanted an email. He just wanted to get down to the bottom of it. And telling you to send him an email is his way of dealing with things later. And so you did it in the right way. So that was well done too. I agree. You matched his energy, you slowed it down. That was solid. And instead of going to the thing, because most people will cave and be like, well, yeah, I guess I can send you an email. He said, well, hey, look, I'm just going to be here for the day, and then boom. So that's good too, right?
Yeah.
So where are you getting stuck with people? Because that first part of that call is really good, or that knock is a good knock. So where are you getting stuck?
Honestly, yeah, I mean that's my best example sale so far. So I guess I didn't send you a good one to evaluate, but
well, no. But it's good to look at the good ones and talk about the things that are working, because any idiot can sit there and be like, here's why this didn't work. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. What takes some real brains is to sit down and figure out what is working. Those things are working, so let's make sure we employ those going forward with everything you're doing. Now, the trick is when you knock that door, all right, you've got to break that ice quick. Right? Do you feel like most people are shutting you down before you can even have a chance to introduce your product, or do you think they're shutting you down after they've found out what you're about? Which one is it?
I'd say 50-50. I can get through saying, hey, I can get you done for super cheap, right?
Okay.
Most people interrupt me as soon as I say pest control, and I've been trying to just push through that,
Okay. Now tell me this: when you're doing all this and you're going the thing, when you knock the door, how are you standing?
So I stand, I would say I probably stand 8 feet away from the door.
Good.
And I'm at a 45-degree angle. And
Good.
I have my leg closest to them locked and my back leg kind of bent. And I have my
Excellent.
iPad in my furthest hand.
Excellent.
So,
you're very aware of your posture. That's great. Not everybody is. Some people don't know right where they're at. That actually sounds really good. 8 feet back is really nice. I think 6 to 8 feet is really lovely. It gives people enough space to feel like you're not up in their business. It's great. That's really good. Way to handle that. That's awesome. Now, you're smiling when they answer the door?
I am, yes.
Okay. Really make sure that smile comes on, and don't be afraid to show some teeth.
Okay.
Because that is a real big smile, because they need to know that they're going to be dealt with somebody friendly, you know.
Right.
So make sure that you're getting that smile out there. Make sure you're really, really pushing that whole thing. And when they come up, the thing I did notice in your call, the greeting wasn't super enthusiastic. You got to realize, you know, every area is a little bit different. People in certain parts of the world, particularly New York, even New York State, not necessarily just the city, they're not used to a lot of super overly friendly people, but they do respond to it. Okay, so the thing is, you got to stand out from there, whatever. Let them know you're not from just wherever. You've come out there, and there's something really strange. Something I learned a long time ago, that experts are always from out of town.
Yeah.
Okay, so people. Oh yeah, this guy came from India, or he came from New York City, or this guy came from L.A. and you're in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's an expert. But someone who is already in Tulsa, well, maybe they're not exotic enough. So you have this power to be, you know, this guy from you're from the West, right? And it's a small thing, and it's a superpower you can use. Okay, and so what you say is be a little bit more fear and be like, hey, how are you? And don't be afraid to take that volume up, maybe 2 notches or 3. You don't want to shout in anybody's ear, but take that volume up. That's going to get you that enthusiastic boom. Because what we're looking to do here is to stun. Okay, we're looking to stun them so they're open. Because when you're throwing somebody off guard in physical defense, when you're able to kick somebody in the shin, it shocks them, and suddenly they're not ready to punch you in the head. Their body's trying to process this weird thing that's happened. Why am I feeling pain in my shin? Hold on, and it stops them long enough where you can go in and make your move. Right? The same thing as in a phone call. You got to stun them. You just got to stun them. So you got to get the energy there without being corny, but a little bit more corny than maybe you even think is cool. Okay. Hey, how are you? How's it going? Oh, what's going on? How are you? Hi. You know, don't be afraid to bring that up a little bit. Now, stun them for a second, because you need that. Because if you're only getting 50% of the people to actually hear what you do, you're not getting enough penetration there. Half your stuff's going in the toilet. You need to get that much higher, up to like 70 or 80 or even 90% if you can. And the way you do that is by creating that stun. And that gives you 5-6 seconds to get your spiel out. Now, this is going to ultimately add up to more sales, just because people who hear your pitch, it's a math game, right? The more doors you knock, the better your odds. The better quality of the knock, the better your odds. And the more of the message you can get people to hear, the better chance of them saying
yes.
Yes. And small yeses lead to
big yeses. I don't know.
Big yeses, right? Yeah, no, you're right. That's exactly right. Big yeses. So what we want to do here is we want to make sure that you're giving them signs of value. And a sign of value at the very beginning is non-threatening, what you're doing with your body language, okay? You're going to smile. You're going to take that energy up just 2 notches, okay? Just imagine on the stereo volume in your car or whatever, just bumping it up just 2 notches. Just 2 notches. Bring up a little bit more. See how that goes. And if that's not enough, we bump it up 2 more. But just try 2 for now without getting crazy, okay?
All right.
And give them that stunning thing. Because these people, they're not used to someone smiling and being happy. In this part of the country, you know, and this works anywhere. This works everywhere, by the way. But I'm telling you, people in that part of the world where you're at are harder to work with.
Yeah,
because
I do agree completely, because when I'm more friendly, I do feel like I get more talk out of them.
Yeah,
but that's only after what they know what I'm doing.
And so you got to. So the trick is to let them know why you're there. Why you're there. You know, you got to realize. Here's the thing you got to realize about what you're doing. Okay, what you're doing is unique and special. There's other people who are knocking the doors who are trying to sell candy bars or magazine subscriptions so they can stay off the street. I mean, there's some real sketch characters who are walking around and doing the same thing you're doing. There's Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, there's Mormon missionaries. There's people selling, all kinds of stuff, meat and toilet bowl brushes. I mean, there's all these people out there. So you've got to very quickly let them know who you are. Because if they have a problem with pest control, no problem. No problem. But let them hear what you are about instead of just, you've got to micro-segment yourself out of that group of people we don't want to come to the house. So get yourself off the Jehovah's Witness list, quick, you know.
Right.
So that's what you got to do. So starting them with a kindness, opening that window, and then getting in there and letting them know what you're there to do, that's going to be great. Now, if you've done this part right, your odds are going to go up just because you're able to tell them what you're about. Then, once you've told them what you're about, don't be afraid to ask a question. Do you ever have bugs or bug problems in the summer?
Really? Okay.
Don't be afraid to use that, because the answer we both know is yes.
Right.
I mean, once you get east of the Mississippi, bugs are everywhere. And I know you're knocking a little bit early, for sure. Okay? But it's not going to hurt you to knock early. Okay? It's not like there's a finite amount of doors you can knock. You know. So yeah. I think it's a great idea to ask them, do you have problems with bugs? Is there a lot of bugs here in the summer? They'll say, well, yeah. And then that's when you say, well, yeah, I'm from Utah, and it's so dry out there. We have, like, moose and deer and stuff like that, but we don't have a lot of insects. Not really. But I hear they're crazy out here. And then let them tell you a story, and they will. You find somebody who's chatty, and almost everybody's chatty. Most conversations, people are waiting to what? Are they listening to, or they're waiting to...
They're waiting to talk.
Give them that opportunity to talk, you know. So you get that person at the door, you give a little bit of information out, but all that is bait. All you're doing is meeting them out there a little more than halfway, and then you're going to lure them back all the way to your side. What you're going to do is you're just going to lure them back and get them to talk. And the more they talk, the more comfortable they are. When people are talking, it is like on a gas tank. When you see a full thing, that means good. It's a full tank of gas. When they're talking a lot, that's good. That means that they're getting their stuff out there. And it's all information, if you're asking the right questions, that you can use to close and sell them.
Yeah, no, that's great. So, that's really different. I mean, I get taught the same thing every single year, right?
And a lot of these guys, I mean, they're very, very good. But I'm telling you, there's a flaw in every sales pitch, even mine. You just have to adapt and tweak things around until you find what works for you. And this is a suggestion that I'm throwing out to you because I know it works. When you have people who are shutting the door on you and not getting there, don't be afraid to let them. I'm always a question asker. I don't think asking questions is a mistake. I think that's right all the time. I always believe in that. I always think that's right. The trick is when you want to start doing that. But for me, the sooner I can get them talking, the better off I am. They'll start telling you why they're doing this and, you know, what's going on and what happened last year. And they all have some story about some big bug. I guarantee you, man, everybody east of the Mississippi has some big bug story. Okay? Right. Oh, man, there's a cicada. Or, oh, I saw this. I mean, the June bugs, the fireflies, whatever it is. Ants. Like, it's teeming with life out there. It's so different from the West. So get them to tell you a bug story. And then you can say, well, that's cool. And then you can say, you know what? That's exactly why I'm out here, is to fix this problem for folks. And I've been servicing some of your neighbors. And then you say, you know, whomever they are, okay?
Yeah.
And, you know, we're going around. And, you know, I'm just going to be here for a short time. This is where you go into your spiel, exactly at this point. This is where I just want you to insert that and then go in there and say, hey, look, you know, I can do this deal for you. I'm just trying to get some things wrapped up. I'm going to be here today. And it's not a lot, but here's what I can do. And just go along with your pitch. I love the way you said that. Just flow right into that. And that's going to break down the door. And then you just go through your sales pitch as normal. Then you work your way inside. You start making your close. But it's getting those people engaged and increasing that number from 50-50 who don't even listen to you past your first name to 70, 80, 90 who are listening to you. And then get them to tell you a bug story. Yeah.
Okay, so first thing, big smiley greeting, right?
Yeah, and just take your energy level, just for you personally, about two. I recommend this for almost everybody. There's some people who are just too intense and they need to take it down. But for your average person, taking it up 2 notches, just 2 notches. Just 2 notches. Okay. Don't go crazy. Just take it up 2 notches more than you would normally do.
Right. Okay.
Smile. Hey. And don't be afraid to show some teeth. A big, nice smile, like, you know, a nice smile, man. And the way you get that smile, it just realize how ridiculous what you do for a living is. You're a salesperson. We're ridiculous human beings. This is what we do. We literally go and expect total strangers to buy something from us. It's silly, right?
Right.
I love it. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful way to make a lot of people happy. It makes your employers happy, or your partners. It makes your customers happy, and ultimately it lines your pocketbook, which is always something that makes me happy. So it's a great time. So think about that, or whatever. Some people like to think about puppies, like whatever does it for you. But I always laugh at the absurdity of what I do for a living. So think about that, and that'll help you. Hey, how are you? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, well, thanks for not pulling a gun on me. No, anyway, and you roll into it. You roll into it. Right?
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think my approach coming out here has been a lot different, just because people are so much quicker, and I've because they're quicker. I've been trying to get them. I've been trying to pitch quicker, but I think if I can slow them down and break that ice beforehand, yeah, I mean that's a great point.
Something you got to remember is smooth is slow.
And slow is fast.
Slow. Well, that's how you want it to be, right?
Or smooth is fast.
Right. So, but you start just slow it all down. It'll get smooth, and then it'll get fast. All right. So that's the name of the game here. Is you just really want to get control of this thing, and the way you get control is by releasing control. For them to talk about whatever they want, as long as it's about bugs. So you're setting the stage. You're saying, hey, I'm inviting you to a symposium about horrible bug problems. You're the guest speaker. And then they're going to tell you their worst bug story. And some of them will tell you 2 or 3. The good news is as long as they're telling you they have a problem with it, this is going to be your best year. You won't have any bug stories this year. Because I'll tell you what, we're going to fix this problem for you.
Mm-hmm.
We can't get rid of all the bugs, but we'll get rid of most of them. It's really going to help you out a lot, and it's better for everybody. It's better for your house. It's better for your pets. It's better for your property. It's better. There's all kinds of things that are out there, from termites. Whatever your product is exactly. Teach them about the products. Teach them about the products at that point. After they told you the story about what's going on, that's when you teach. That's when you teach them. But before that, they don't care, because you know what? All they see is a guy who wants their money.
Right.
But when you become a person who solves a problem that they legitimately have, and we know every one of these people has a problem with this. They all have a problem. Mm-hmm. Right? Solve that problem. But after they've told you they have the problem, they come out and they talk about it. That's why therapy is so powerful, or Alcoholics Anonymous. There's no magic to showing up at some group. The magic is getting up and saying, hey, my name is Nate, and I have this problem, and I'm addicted to XYZ. Confessing that. When they confess that problem to you, hi, my name is Jill, and my house has tons of bugs.
Yeah.
Here's my biggest bug story. And at that point, what happens, the ego shut down, and then they are suddenly open to suggestion. You've built trust, you've built intimacy, and that's where and this is not to get them, this is to help them. Because what you're selling is good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it helps them. Yeah. So just bear in mind, you're not selling them some scam. You're not selling them something that tricks them. You're selling them something that really, really genuinely helps them. So listen to their problems and then cure the problem. But only after you've gotten them to give you their story about the bugs. Now, some people are not going to want to open up and talk about it. At that point there, I'd say, I've heard there's all kinds of bugs here. What kind of bugs are there? And people love to know the answers. There's people, you stop on the street and you ask them for directions, they don't even know, and they'll give you directions. People want to give a stock tip. They want to give advice. They want to go out and leave an opinion. They all want to be on Yelp. That's what people want to do. Naturally, they want to give their opinion. Okay, an opinion is the lowest form of intelligence. It requires no discipline, and it requires no experience to possess it. So what we want to do is we want to get them to give us their opinion, because they all have one, and it takes absolutely nothing for them to tell you, except you ask it. And as soon as they give that to you, you know everything you need to know. And it doesn't mean you're going to close everybody with this, but your odds and your numbers will go up. I promise you they'll go up. There's no way for it not to. Now, you got to realize this, too. Part of your game here is you're psyched out. You're in New York. You know how people are in New York. You're not in Alabama, man. Yeah. You're not in a place where they're going to hand you a glass of lemonade and invite you to sit down and look at pictures of their grandkids, right?
Right.
I've done training in all kinds of southern states. I've done it all over for people. And, you deal with some of these people down in Georgia. Shoot, these people will sell you. Next thing you know, you're sitting there and, it's a cozy afternoon, and you've lost track of your whole damn day. You know, you're not even selling anything. You're there looking at pictures of when their family moved to that house 35 years earlier. I mean, just it's what happens. They're super nice. So you're getting psyched out a little bit because they're New Yorkers. Let me tell you a little secret about New Yorkers. New Yorkers are not as tough as they think they are. Okay? They act tough because that's their culture, but they're actually quite nice people. Once you get past all the New York tough guy stuff, these people are just as loving and caring as anybody you'll ever meet. It's just getting through that shell, that hard candy shell, but inside they're all milk chocolate, just like everybody else. But like so many people living on either coast, they're nuts. So they're peanut M&Ms, right? But it's okay. That's my favorite kind, right? I love peanut M&Ms. But just realize that it's that hard exterior that you just got to bust through, and you can using these techniques. These will push you through. So get the energy up and go do it. One of the things I want you to do too before you knock your next door, do this every time you knock a door. Breathe in your nose, out your mouth 10 times as deeply as you can. Don't look like a psycho doing it, but do it. This will kind of reset you back to zero. You're recalibrating it. So whenever you're going from one door to the other, no matter how good the last one was, whatever, recalibrate yourself. This is something that Navy SEALs use in times of duress. You got gunfire coming from everywhere. Things are freaking out, or you're on lockdown overnight in some city you don't want to be in, and you hope you won't get discovered. These guys will recenter by breathing in their nose and out their mouth. You know, like the kind where you can like you can feel like the back of your brain, because you're breathing in so deep. It's just that cold air going in really deep. Do that and reset. Okay?
All right.
Reset between each one. Okay?
Yeah, I'll try that.
No, it'll work. It's a good thing to do no matter what. Breathing exercises are always great. People don't get enough air.
Good. All right. Well, I'm going to jot all this down in my book here, and then I'm going to give all of it a try tomorrow for sure.
Do it. Lean into it, and I think you'll see that variations of this will work really well for you. Some aspects will work better than others, but it's really about the delivery. I know if I came out there and did that for you, these would work. But you're not me, and I'm not you. So you just got to figure out how this version works for you.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
All right?
All right.
Okay. Go get them, buddy.
Okay, Nate. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.